Go yourself.
As one of the original Elon and Tesla fans, I believe that last month we have unfortunately witnessed the beginning of the end of Elon Musk. And I say this with a heavy heart because even though my admiration and support for Elon and Tesla has diminished over the last 10 years, I still believe and we all still need him to be the leader at the very least of the electric car community. Because after all of these years, even though that Tesla has proven that you can be very profitable making electric cars, that people want electric cars, that electric cars are just better cars, after all of that, the rest of the car industry is still decided not to innovate or push everything forward. Somehow, pretty much everybody, including the new guys like Rivian and Lucid, are trying to make electric cars that are just good enough to compete with Tesla. And some of them have even succeeded making some of their EVs better in some ways than Tesla. However, at the end of the day, no one better, even today, than Elon Musk at pushing everyone towards the electric car adoption. But make no mistake about this, the reason there is the Ford F-150 Lightning or the Hyundai Ioniq 5 is not because Ford and Hyundai have decided to be so nice to all of us and to Earth and make these wonderful EVs. No, it's because Elon Musk made them. And this is why what happened with Elon last week is so disappointing and sad, even for a critic like myself, because I am an electric car adoption fan more than I am an Elon Musk critic. There are three things that happen together in 1 week that may push a lot of people who still admire and respect him as a thought leader, as an innovator, to realize that maybe the emperor has no clothes. Now, the first one is his apparent support on Twitter or X or whatever, the platform he owns and therefore cannot be punished for anything that he says there, for what appeared to be an anti-Semitic comment. Now, that's the line you do not want to cross ever, but especially during these times when the things in the Middle East between the Israel and Palestine are at really its worst. But let me be very clear. Not for 1 second, I believe that Elon Musk is an anti-Semite. What he is an idiot for a horrible timing, a very sloppy and irresponsible comment, which by his own admission is his worst tweet ever, and I might agree. Let's just make that clear. I do not believe that he is an anti-Semite, and neither should you. However, with that said, there are a lot of people who now believe that he is, and even people like myself who don't think so, as I just made it very clear, still will have a hard time ever coming back on his side after seeing him cross this line. Now, the second thing that happened within only a few days of that was the moment that has gone viral, and it's this moment.
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go yourself.
But
Go yourself. Is that clear?
Now, in case if you don't know, since Elon took over Twitter, renamed it into X, a lot of advertisers started to pull out from advertising on Twitter because of a lot of other stupid shit that Elon Musk said and done and allowed on the platform. Now, the latest set of pulling out the money was because of the tweet that we have just discussed, and even after Elon said this and attacked those advertisers who have pulled out, including Disney and Apple, yet another one, I believe it was Walmart, that also has pulled out. Now, Elon claims that all of them are trying to control him, and because they can't, they want to cancel him. And then immediately he tried to cancel Disney. And he does this all the time. He plays the victim and then almost immediately becomes the predator and tries to make one of his opponents a victim, and somehow that's perfectly okay. It is not. By the way, as a general rule, if you ever go like this as an adult, you automatically lost the argument. But here's where I think he is going to really lose, because if you bought a business that is supported by advertisers, you have to play that game, whatever that game is. But if you are, as the sole owner at this point of this business, essentially biting the hand that feeds you, you are just not a very good businessman. As a matter of fact, even Elon admitted that this may essentially bankrupt Twitter, but somehow he thinks that wouldn't be his fault. But yes, it would be. As a matter of fact, that would also essentially make people question something that no one has ever questioned about him, which is he is a brilliant businessman. But this is not a brilliant businessman move. And if this really does happen, if Twitter will disappear or will go bankrupt because of Elon's behavior, like I said, the beginning of the end. And the third thing that happened only a few days after that was essentially a pretty disastrous delivery event of the Tesla Cybertruck, which was also essentially a re-unveiling of the Cybertruck. Just the visual of the event, if you watch it on YouTube, shows that Elon didn't even have a physical spotlight on him. He was speaking in quite a defeated tone off of a bed of the Cybertruck in almost complete darkness, and at one point was interrupted by a crying child.
Once every 5 to 10 years, something really special, a really unusual product comes along.
But to the substance of the event, as he has re-unveiled the specs of the Cybertruck, because originally it was unveiled 4 years ago, just to reveal that the specs are actually worse than they were promised 4 years ago. But since then, there were, 4 all-electric trucks that came to the market, and now we all have something to compare the Cybertruck to, and it is by no means the leader in the sector. And this is Tesla's last electric model that's going to be unveiled to the market in a while. The only one that is still coming up is the $25,000 budget car from Tesla, which is unlikely to bring any type of breakthroughs in engineering or technology. Is just most likely going to be a simple, good electric car for the masses. And this brings me to my bigger point that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. Unfortunately, Tesla is still the only car maker that's pushing the entire industry forward. And this is one of the last times they are going to be able to make a statement until their next big thing. And this wasn't it. This was a disappointment. And don't get me wrong, they will sell the Cybertrucks to all of this Tesla fanboys for years. But that's not what I wanted out of Cybertruck. What I wanted out of the Cybertruck was a new statement for the rest of the industry. So the F-150 Lightning, the Hummer EV, the upcoming Silverado, the electric Ram, the Rivian, all of those trucks and vehicles would become better and better because they have a new standard. But that standard wasn't really set very high. I honestly expected a real electric range for a real pickup truck, which would have been what they originally advertised, over 500 miles. My hope was 600 miles. And the fact that even with that ridiculous range extender that you would have to essentially install permanently in your bed by taking 1/3 of its space away, even with that piece of shit, they didn't get to 500. But at the end of the day, as the dust settles, and I take no pleasure in saying this as an Elon Musk critic, I think this might be it. And I'm not saying he's done right now, that would be stupid, but if his empire and his reputation and all of his hard work, and his legacy does not survive what I believe we're witnessing right now, this was the moment when it started. And God, I really hope he pulls it together, because the humanity can use him, not just to lead us into a better technological future, but honestly, to lead us into a better cultural future, because I do believe that our culture, the Western culture, has been degrading quite fast. That's one of the reasons, actually the main reason, why I moved out of the United States and I live somewhere very, very far away. It is what it is. I hope I'm wrong, but unfortunately, a lot of times the time shows, and of course the Tesla fanboys don't want to give me any credit for anything that I've predicted with Elon. I might just be right again. So let me know your comments in the comment section down below. Other than that, see you guys next time, and remember to stay charged.